Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clay, and I am the Bucks believer. Although, unfortunately, with every game that passes, it's getting more and more difficult to continue to say that. The Bucks lost their fifth straight game to the Toronto Raptors with a final score of 110 to 96, and they just really struggled on the offensive end of the floor. Today's stat of the night is Giannis and Chris combined for 11 turnovers, which is not any way to win if you are Milwaukee. Both of those two players really struggled with the looks that Nick Nurse, the coach of the Toronto Raptors, threw at them in the half-court setting. For Chris, he really struggled with the fact that the Raptors were switching all screens and they were also trapping and blitzing Middleton on those ball screens. Chris wasn't quite ready for that pressure, and he ended up committing multiple live ball turnovers, which the Raptors were able to turn into easy points in transition. Chris also wasn't able to knock down open looks when he was able to get them, and I think that's in large part due to the fact that the Raptors were kind of in his head, and he was in a bit of a slump, he wasn't playing well, and he didn't have the same confidence shooting the basketball as he normally does, as he finished with just 13 points on 5 for 13 shooting. He's been in a bit of a slump for a couple games now, and the Bucks really need him to snap out of it, especially with Jrue Holiday's continued absence. Giannis Antetokounmpo was a bit better, and he was able to restore his counting stats to a solid level because of a strong second half. But for large portions of this game, he struggled just as much as Chris did. His particular defense being played on him wasn't the same as Chris's, as it was more focused on building that wall in the paint and not letting him finish at the basket. But he struggled in a lot of the same ways. As he was forced into multiple turnovers, he ended up throwing the ball away and making inaccurate passes to shooters in the corners. And when he did get to the basket, he wasn't finishing at the same level because of the excellent contests that the Raptor players were putting up. Now, I would be remiss to not give credit to these guys for Toronto that played such excellent defense. OG Anunoby, Norman Powell, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, DeAndre Bembry. All five of these guys are switchable guard and wing defenders who are capable of guarding all five positions, and they were all switching magnificently. They were all moving as one on the defensive end of the court, and they did a great job in slowing down these players. But Giannis does need to play better because this is a look that he's going to see from teams throughout the season, and he really struggled. He did finish with 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists, but he only made 8 of his 20 shots, only made 7 of his 13 free throws, and turned the ball over 5 times. I don't think that that's a great game from Giannis. I think he's capable of much more than that, and the Bucks need him to play better if they're going to beat good teams like Toronto. Also, real quick, I want to congratulate Giannis for being named an All-Star starter. It's clearly something that he deserved, and I hope that he continues to live up to those expectations for years to come. Anyways, as I said before, the Bucks were once again without Jrue Holiday in this game. And I think that this particular matchup showcased why they need Holiday so badly. There were two reasons really that particularly stood out to me. The first of these is Holiday's ability to keep opponents in front of him on the defensive end of the court. Norman Powell had a great game for Toronto, finishing with 29 points and 9 for 12 shooting. He also got to the line 8 times and made 7 of those. And a large reason why he was able to score so efficiently today was because there was just no Buck perimeter defender that was able to keep him in front. He was able to blow past Chris Middleton, or Bryn Forbes, or Torrey Craig, or Pat Connaughton, whoever it was that the Bucks had matched up on him, and he was able to get to the rack with ease. This is something I've noticed more and more with the Bucks as the season has progressed. Outside of Holiday and Dante DiVincenzo, there aren't too many players just capable of keeping themselves between their man and the basketball when guarding on ball. And that's very troublesome, especially against a team like Toronto that has so many options that can attack you from all sides. Putting Holiday on Powell probably would have shut him down. But even then, Pascal Siakam would have been able to exploit the Bucks defense, as he had 27 points on 9 for 18 shooting. Even OG Anunoby got going in the fourth quarter, I guess, after he really struggled for the first 3 quarters of this game. OG had just 10 points on 4 for 12 shooting, but he had 3 straight baskets in the fourth quarter that really hurt the Bucks. And if they could have had Jrue Holiday to put on him on those possessions, I think that it really would have helped. Holiday is great on the defensive end, and he also would have been terribly important for the Bucks in terms of help defense, where they also really struggled to put up a whole lot of resistance against the Toronto Slashers. The other area in which I really think the Bucks could have used Jrue Holiday in this game was as a secondary scoring option. Holiday is someone who is terrific at attacking a closeout and forcing turnovers and getting out in transition, where he's terrific at finishing using his change of speed type game in order to get space at the basket, and he's a good finisher at the rim as well. The Bucks really missed that in this game, and they could have used someone else that really could have taken advantage of the open looks and the closeouts they could have gotten with Giannis and Chris being double teamed for such large portions of this game. With Holiday being out, the Bucks are forced to count on Donte DiVincenzo much more than they would usually like to. Donte wasn't horrible in this game, as he had 14 points on 6 for 15 shooting, but I don't think that having Donte take 15 shots is a winning formula for Milwaukee, and that's where they need Jrue. Donte also did a really nice job guarding Fred VanVleet. Fred beat the Bucks up on Tuesday night to the tune of 33 points. But in this game, Donte did a really nice job on him and limited him to just 5 for 15 shooting from the field. Bryn Forbes also had to step up a bit in this one, and he wasn't exactly up to the challenge. He had 11 points, but 9 of those 11 came in the first quarter, where he was 3 for 4 on threes, and he was generally pretty quiet for the rest of the game. Bobby Portis, who the Bucks have been able to count on for consistent offense so far this year, was a no-show in this game, as he had just 2 points on 1 for 3 shooting, and that single basket came with just 3 seconds remaining. So it's not like it was anything of any impact for the Bucks. Perhaps the most troublesome thing to come out of this game was Brook Lopez's struggles on the defensive end of the court. It's not often that we see Brook play as well on the offensive end as he did in this game and still be limited to just 20 minutes because of defensive issues. Brook has been an all-defensive level player for the past 3 seasons, but in this one he just got played off the court. Toronto went with a small ball look for the minutes in which Aaron Baines was not on the court, and Brook simply could not keep up with the Toronto forwards and guards that he was forced to be switched on. Pascal Siakam in particular took advantage of the matchup and was able to get to the free throw line on multiple occasions by attacking Brook. Lopez was good offensively, as I said. He had 12 points on 4 for 7 shooting in those 20 minutes and did a pretty nice job of hitting difficult shots when the Bucks really needed it most. He had one particular Dirk Nowitzki style fadeaway jumper from the mid-post that was particularly impressive. But Brook is not going to be able to help this team if he can't stay on the court in the postseason, and I think that that's definitely something that the Bucks should be worried about, especially with teams like Boston and Brooklyn and Toronto all being fully capable of sending out these small ball lineups at will. The other troublesome thing is that if Brook can't close games out for the Bucks, who is the 5th player out there? I think that they can count on Giannis and Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday and Donte DiVincenzo, but that leaves one more opening. Torrey Craig hasn't been as good as Bucks fans hoped he would be. Pat Connaughton has had some good moments this year, but has been generally pretty inconsistent. DJ Augustine has been one of the bigger flops of the season in terms of free agent signings. Bryn Forbes can shoot it, but is questionable defensively. I'm worried about this Bucks team, and that's not really somewhere that I've been in the past couple of seasons outside of once the Bucks fell behind in the playoffs. So this is a scary time for me as a Bucks fan, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to get cheered up. Actually, yes I do. It's Thanasis Antetokounmpo. If there's one bright spot for the Bucks in this game, it was the play of Giannis's older brother. The Bucks were really struggling. They had no energy. They were just letting the Toronto lead a balloon and get bigger and bigger. And then Bud decided that he needed some energy on the court, so he inserted Thanasis. And Thanasis went out there and he played his butt off. He made a few defensive plays. He gave a fist pump. That's the word I was looking for. After every nice Bucks play, he finished 2 dunks in the half court. He took 4 really bad shots, none of which were close. But he did what the Bucks needed him to do. And in those 8 minutes, he was a +6 and he really played his butt off. And that's what this Bucks team needs more of. They need to play harder and they need more of that Thanasis Antetokounmpo energy, because right now this guy seems like the only person who is really locked in for the Bucks. Getting Jrue Holiday back will help, but there are other flaws with this team that need to be solved, and I am as worried as I have been about the Bucks in a very long time. However, I'm still the Bucks believer. I'm not going to get too negative. I'm not going to get too negative. I'm not going to get too negative. There, I said it 3 times, so that means it must be true, right? I hope so. Anyways, I think that I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Tough loss for the Bucks, good win for the Raptors, and we'll see what happens against Oklahoma City tomorrow night. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe, especially if you are a fan of all things Bucks, because I will be cranking out quality Bucks content for the rest of the season. Let me know what your thoughts were on this game in the comment section down below. That's going to be it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all again very soon.